Hero of Apple and villain of JCPenney, Ron Johnson. Ron Johnson is a former executive at Apple who was hired by JCPenney in 2011 to serve as CEO. Johnson was brought in to revamp the struggling retailer's business model and turn around declining sales. However, his tenure at JCPenney was short-lived and ultimately unsuccessful. In this video, we will explore the rise and fall of Ron Johnson and the lessons that can be learned from his downfall. Ron Johnson was an executive at Apple, where he played a key role in the development and success of the company's retail stores. Under his leadership, Apple's stores became known for their sleek design, innovative merchandising, and exceptional customer service. In 2011, JCPenney hired Johnson to serve as CEO. The company was struggling at the time, with declining sales and mounting debt. Johnson was seen as a visionary who could bring new ideas and strategies to the struggling retailer. One of Johnson's first moves as CEO was to revamp JCPenney's pricing strategy. He moved away from the company's traditional coupon-based pricing model and instead offered everyday low prices. Johnson believed that this new strategy would appeal to consumers and help differentiate JCPenney from its competitors. Johnson also sought to update JCPenney's merchandise assortment. He brought in new brands and designers, and worked to create a more modern and appealing shopping experience. Johnson's vision was to create a store that was both stylish and affordable, appealing to a wide range of shoppers. Despite his success at Apple, Johnson's tenure at JCPenney was short-lived and ultimately unsuccessful. His new pricing strategy failed to resonate with consumers, and sales plummeted. Many of JCPenney's traditional customers were turned off by the new pricing model, and the company failed to attract the younger, trendier shoppers that Johnson had hoped to reach. In addition, Johnson's attempts to update JCPenney's merchandise assortment proved unsuccessful. The company's new offerings failed to appeal to consumers, and many shoppers found the new store layout confusing and disorienting. Johnson's vision for JCPenney proved to be too ambitious, and the company was unable to execute on his plans. The combination of declining sales and mounting debt eventually led to Johnson's departure from JCPenney in 2013. His tenure as CEO had been a disappointment, and he left the company with his reputation tarnished. There are several lessons that can be learned from Ron Johnson's downfall. One of the key mistakes that Ron Johnson made at JCPenney was not fully understanding the culture and history of the company. JCPenney had a loyal customer base that was accustomed to traditional sales and promotions, and Johnson's decision to eliminate these features was a major misstep. By ignoring the needs and desires of JCPenney's stakeholders, Johnson set himself up for failure. Another important lesson from the fall of Ron Johnson is the importance of listening to employees and customers. Johnson had a grand vision for JCPenney, but it was out of touch with the needs and desires of the company's stakeholders. By ignoring their concerns, Johnson failed to gain the support and buy-in that he needed to successfully implement his plans. Finally, the fall of Ron Johnson highlights the importance of having a clear understanding of the financial realities of the business. Johnson's decision to eliminate sales and promotions was based on a belief that it would lead to increased profitability. However, it ultimately resulted in a significant decline in sales and revenue. By failing to fully understand the financial implications of his decisions, Johnson set JCPenney on a path to failure. The fall of Ron Johnson serves as a cautionary tale for executives in the retail industry. By understanding the lessons from his failure, future leaders can avoid making the same mistakes and lead their companies to success. These lessons include the importance of understanding the culture and history of the company, listening to employees and customers, and having a clear understanding of the financial realities of the business. By applying these lessons, executives can improve their chances of success and avoid the pitfalls that led to the fall of Ron Johnson. Human resource students can learn several important lessons from the fall of Ron Johnson, particularly in the areas of change management and employee engagement. One of the key mistakes that Ron Johnson made was not fully understanding the culture and history of JCPenney before making sweeping changes to the company's business model. As a human resource professional, it is important to recognize that change is inevitable in any organization. However, it is equally important to manage change in a way that is thoughtful and inclusive. This means taking the time to understand the organization's culture and history, engaging employees in the change process, and communicating clearly and transparently about the changes being made. Another important lesson from the fall of Ron Johnson is the importance of employee engagement. Johnson's decision to eliminate traditional sales and promotions was met with resistance from both employees and customers. By ignoring the concerns of employees, Johnson failed to gain the support and buy-in that he needed to successfully implement his plans. As a human resource professional, it is important to engage employees in the change process by listening to their concerns, communicating effectively, and creating a culture of collaboration and inclusivity. Finally, the fall of Ron Johnson highlights the importance of financial literacy in the business world. Johnson's decision to eliminate sales and promotions was based on a belief that it would lead to increased profitability, but it ultimately resulted in a significant decline in sales and revenue. As a human resource professional, it is important to have a solid understanding of the financial realities of the business, including how changes to the business model may impact revenue and profitability. In conclusion, human resource students can learn several important lessons from the fall of Ron Johnson, including the importance of change management, employee engagement, and financial literacy. By applying these lessons in their future careers, they can help to create more successful and sustainable organizations.